This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so as conveyed through the WhatsApp message, it will be Azure Update Management, or we can call it as Patch Management. Okay, so this specific service called Update Management, it's like and it's a managed service. When I say managed service, it's always you should think that as completely, or at least the backend platform is managed by Microsoft. Okay, that what managed service means. It is managed by Microsoft. So in general, how this works in your on-premises environment or in your traditional data center, you might have the systems that takes care of the patching, right? You might have a Windows Server update service installed on a particular server, and that will distribute the patches or updates to your system. Or sometimes in a very large organization, you might have tools like ACCM or BigFix or different tool sets to take care of the patches and the say related updates on all your uh, client operating system and the server operating system, right? So mostly on the server operating system, we might be, if it is predominantly Windows Server operating system, we might go and use the Windows Server update service, right? If you have logged into any of your Windows, see, I can show you quickly. So it is part of your regular operating system. If you go to Server Manager, if you go to Manage and add the roles, you will see that there is a specific role called Windows Server Update Service. That is the last one, right? So this will help you to update or specify which Microsoft updates you need to get installed on your group of computers or set of computers. Different computers might be used for different purpose, right? Even on the server side, we might be using some for web server, application, middleware, database, and so on. So you will group them and you will handle it using the Windows Server Update Service. So traditionally, you need a set of servers, you need a set of OSs on that, and we need to kind of manage and operate or administrate those systems, right? So those are all not required in the cloud space. In cloud, it is provided as a service. You get Azure Update Management as part of a managed service, and this comes, actually the service is free of cost. Okay, so in order to use the update management, you don't have to pay anything. The service is part of your subscription. Okay, when you go and enable the Azure subscription, you will get this particular services automatically enabled. So you don't have to use any kind of additional operating system or tool set. In on-premises, we have to go and get some licensing and all those things. If you're using some Microsoft native tool or a third-party tool, there is a licensing attached to it. So here, there is no license cost, there is no additional server operating system. Those are all needed. So you are saving a lot of cost in terms of skipping these operating system servers and the software that is needed. But here, of course, in the cloud, okay, so update management, it's not the replacement for any of your existing tools. See, when I say that, if you take Windows, you will go and use that Windows Update Management, right, or Windows Update option in your server operating system or a client operating system. And even on your Linux flavors, you might be using M update or Zyper update, or it might be what do you call apt update. Based on your Linux operating system, there are different tools that will be used for updating your patches and tool sets in your operating system, right? So what this particular update management will do is, it will go and act as a wrapper, meaning like it will go and use this tool, but it will be getting triggered from the Azure portal or the Azure console. Okay, it is wrapper for the OS, so it is not, the update management is not the replacement for this tool. At the end, it will go and trigger these tools to get the patches updated, or where to get the patches installed. Okay, so this update management is a wrapper for your OS, and at the end, the tools which are part of your OS will do the actual update and installation, right? So you can enable the update management directly from your Azure console. I can show you that. So let's try to understand a few general things on how this works in a production environment, right? So in update so any, I mean, either you take on premises or Azure cloud management or any other third party cloud like AWS or GCP, we will have a kind of agreed patching cycle. Okay, so when I say agreed patching cycle, in general, most of the Windows operating systems, either it is server or client, it gets patched every month. Okay, and if it is Linux, it gets patched every quarterly. Okay, so it depends. See, if it is a very large organization, you might not be able to patch it every month, and if it is a smaller environment, we can also patch it every month. But the thing is, like, there's not much updates frequently getting released on Linux side or Linux side. So but Microsoft, they release patches every second Tuesday. Okay, so they have a regular patching release cycle or monthly patching releases that has to be kind of installed on your system to keep your system up to date, right? So that's the reason we generally patch all the Microsoft operating system, either Windows Server or Windows Client, every month. Okay, so they release it every second Tuesday. And how most of the organization will patch their system is like they will patch it on the non-production environment, possibly by third weekend or whatever similar to that, and they will give some time to sorry guys, there will be some small disconnects. As I told you, I'm using my mobile connection because of the power outage. There is no broadband today until the power resumes. Okay, when someone calls me, like it might reconnect. Okay, sorry. So here, what I was telling, like the non-production environment will get patched every third weekend, and most of the organization, like which is not very stringent towards compliance and policies, they will go and update the production environment in the fourth weekend. But you still have one more option, that the patches comes every second Tuesday, and you have time until the second weekend to even patch the production system. So what generally some of the organization do is they'll go and update the production systems on the first weekend itself. I mean, the previous month patches which are getting released on second Tuesday will get updated on the first weekend of the next month. So you are actually like not having a big gap there. So what generally happens is, like the decision will be made by the business or the application owners or the customer will take the decision on how long they need to validate their application. See, if you are installing the patches on third weekend, whether they need 1 week time or 2 week time, which will be much better for a stable platform. Okay, based on that, you can either schedule the patching for the second, I mean, the first weekend of the next month, the subsequent month, or you can also do it on the fourth weekend. Okay, it depends on organization to organization. They will take a decision on that. But in general, um, all the Windows systems will get patched every month. The periodically Microsoft releases patches. They roll out every second Tuesday, and automatically, like this is a kind of recurring series of event, right? Every month we have to do the patching. Every quarterly we have to do the Linux patching, and so on. So yeah, so as I told you, so second Tuesday they call it as Patch Tuesday, and on Patch Tuesday they will release the bundle, and we'll go and get them updated. Okay, so some people get confused with the patching process and the vulnerability process. Okay, so vulnerability handling is little different from patching. Okay, when I say vulnerability, vulnerability might be there on your OS, and it might be there on your applications that you have installed. See, just for an example, since most of you are from Windows background, so Windows OS will have vulnerability. And if you take Internet Explorer or any browser that you are installing, Mozilla or Google Chrome or whatever, like the application will also have its own vulnerability and limitations or security bugs or whatever. Similarly, the third-party application will have will have its own bugs or whatever, right? When I say third-party apps, like I'm considering Internet Explorer, Microsoft Office, these things as part of the Microsoft native apps, and third-party apps are like any third-party Java or whatever that comes from the third open source or the third-party organization. Okay, so vulnerabilities might be applicable for all these areas. So it is not that your patching process will cover all these things. Your patching might be focused on Windows operating system, and that too, a lot of organization have a procedure or a kind of defined policies. See, when it comes to patches or when it comes to any severity in the patching, okay, what they will have is they will have some kind of grouping. Okay, so they will have some patches considered as critical, which is more vulnerable, and this has to be applied without any delay. So like it might impact the environment any time. So it might be having a very big vulnerability or bug which can be exploited by any ransomware or malware attacks or whatever, right? So you have to fix it immediately. So then there comes the important updates which gets released frequently, but this is going to impact your organization's confidentiality or integrity, but you have to take care of it. Okay, exploitation is possible, and this can go and impact your organization confidentiality or integrity or your availability of your system will might be I mean, let me just type it out. Confidentiality is like someone might be able to come and steal the data, someone might come and spoil your integrity or take out your data, or they might also um, uh, kind of bring your system down, or they might stop things from working. They might be spreading the malware or ransomware, or they might be bringing down your system. So important updates should also be taken care as early as possible, but critical should be applied without any delay. So we have to go and create a expedited change request, and if in case senior manager approval is needed, we need to get that all completed, and we should try and fix it the same day or within a couple of days. And important can be scheduled for the weekend, and we can plan properly with a kind of important or a regular change management or a normal change management, and we can get that applied. So there are other patch severity also that comes like moderate or low. uh, Okay, so that will be kind of not very important, but some organization might skip that. Some organization might only use critical and important, and they might leave the moderate and low. So where exactly, if you're a Windows administrator or if you're coming from Windows background, where exactly you might see all these information. So if you go to Microsoft uh, MSRC portal or MSRC um, researcher portal, you can also go and check what kind of current vulnerabilities are there, or what kind of patches they have. Let me just open the home site. So this is the Microsoft Security Response Center, right? Who is continuously checking on any new vulnerabilities that is arising, or any kind of problem that is coming in. So this organization within Microsoft, they are taking care of all the updates coming from different organizations, different industry vertical, and they will try to release patches or release tool sets based on what do you call the bugs and stuff that are being reported by different organizations. So it has been, this particular research center has been actively there for more than 20 years or 22 years now. So it's like a very big security research team within Microsoft. They call it as Microsoft Security Response Center. So they are the one. Sometimes they might give you an immediate fix, and what they will do is they will come and provide you updates in the upcoming roll-up update or upcoming security releases. Okay, so there are a lot of different grouping that are there. For example, we have security patches, critical patches, bug fixes, roll-up updates, and so on. I'll explain that shortly. Okay, so for now, let's not get too much into that. But this particular Microsoft Security Response Center, they are the one who will immediately get you some bug fixes or some immediate fix for any of the vulnerabilities or issues that is coming up. But you can actually, in fact, also try and fix by yourself if in case you know what has to be done. But you can also reach out to the Microsoft Security Response Center if you find any critical issues or important issues that needs to be fixed. Okay, so um, how all these things work together. See, for example, different organizations are doing patching practices, different organizations are doing vulnerability management. And most of the vulnerability management, if it is like decentralized, think you are working for one organization and you are finding some vulnerability and you are fixing it, then it can fix only the current problem, and it might not help other organizations from making use of it. So how these things are managed at a global scale or at a global level. So we have a kind of a governance body called National Vulnerability Database. Okay, they call it as NVD. Okay, so this is a global organization. They manage and maintain all the different vulnerabilities coming out of different organization. And what they will do is they will also assign some CVE numbers to that. So they call it as common vulnerability exploit numbers. So there will be a CVE, common vulnerabilities and exposures. Okay, so there will be a CVE ID generated, and that for that CVE ID, this organization will release a kind of a fix or anything that can be done. So there is an organization which also takes care of it. So this is the Mitre Corporation, which is a non-profit organization which takes care of the vulnerabilities or the attacks that are happening. Okay, it's a very good organization which takes care of the vulnerability aspect, or mostly the what do you call the vulnerability database. Okay, so most of the organizations, like, they refer to this database, and the couple of popular tools you might have already used, or you might have heard about Tenable Nessus, you might have heard about Qualys Scanner. So these are all some of the top tools which helps you with scanning your system and telling like these are the vulnerabilities exist on your operating system, your application, and you have to fix all these things. Okay, so vulnerability management is different, patching is different, but these two can help each other. For example, if I go and do patching properly, it can help fix some of the vulnerabilities or most of the vulnerabilities on your operating system. It will not fix complete 100%. Maybe there might be different vulnerabilities that is there, and that might not have been fixed by Microsoft already, and you might have to fix that in a separate process. Maybe like 90-95% of the security and the critical vulnerabilities might be fixed as part of your regular patching, but there might be one or two cases where you might have to do a one-off patching or one or two updates to get things into your normalcy. Okay, so here vulnerability management, if it is part of your operations contract, then you can take that work. Otherwise, this is going to require a lot of man hours to look into your system, do analysis, how many systems are impacted, what action plan we need to do. We have to go and create a change request for each and every things that we are fixing. So generally, like patching management and vulnerability management, people mix them together and try to get it completed. But these two are two different aspects. So patching management, it's already like pre-released patches and updates will get fixed by that. But vulnerability management, it can be not limited to your operating system. It can be beyond that, and it needs to be carefully done, taken care of. Okay, so any questions from anyone so far on the general processes that we have? Okay, if not, let's continue. Okay, let's get into the actual Azure environment. Okay, let's not get too deep into this. Let's log in. So whenever you go and create a system, there are multiple options that are available. Okay, so patching in Azure. So while you create a new VM, you can also enable patching as part of your create new VM option. So when you create a new VM, if you look at here, okay, see what happened. I left my Azure Active Directory domain services for a week and it took all my credit. I just deleted it this morning. I just deleted before this call. Okay, so you have to be cleaning up after you complete any exercise. Okay, so here I'm going to just select anyone. I might have some patching RG also. You can select your own resource group, and there are multiple different options. So if I go to my, I want to create a VM01, or I can say Win VM01. And here I will just create it in some other location, maybe West US or some other region. I already have few machines in my East US. So maybe I'll try Central US. Okay, so here, if I go and select the Ubuntu operating system, okay, let's take Ubuntu as an example. And if I go to management here, I have the guest OS update option, right? Guest OS update option. And within that, I can see that there are some patch orchestration option. Okay, so when I go and create a new VM, if I select Ubuntu Linux as an example, I see patch orchestration option or the guest OS update option. So this is what you can use for patching your operating system. But if you look at here, what are the options that are available for your Ubuntu? It says you can use only the image default option or whatever. You have to go and do the updates with the image default option. Okay, so I'll tell you what exactly that is. You have to patch the system on your own. But if I go and choose Windows, let's say 2019 data center edition or Windows 2019 server, okay, let's see what are the options we get. So if I go and change the option to Windows 2019 or 2016, if I go to management, I'll see additional options here. I see two options extra now. I see hot patch option. I see patch orchestration option still there. Okay, I see hot patching option. And I also see some other additional option. If I go and check that, it gives me two different options. I can either manually update the Linux system, sorry, a Windows system by turning on the Windows automatic update. And most of you might have seen the Windows update option, right? If I go to my control panel, or if I go to my, sorry, 1 second. Just give a second. Okay, so I can just click on this Windows update setting or check for update setting. I can also go to settings option. And here, this is what they call it as Windows update option. You can go and check for the updates and you can update your system. That's how we generally do it, right? So what they are telling us, like you can also go and manually update it by turning on the Windows update option. So you have option to do it manual by okay, so good that the power has come back. So my connection will be much more stable than before. Okay, so I've switched over. So you can use the manual option. You can go and check for the updates in your operating system. And once after the check is complete, you will see which are the patches missing, and you will go and update it. See, it is saying this one is pending installation, and this one is pending download. So something has already been downloaded, and we can go and readily install it. And something we have to go and download it. So you will see the list of KB articles or patches which has already downloaded in your system, and which some ones which are uh, which has to be downloaded and updated. And this is the manual option. And the next option you have is automatic by OS. So you can automatically, okay, you can automatically install it by giving a schedule. Okay, so you can just go and say I want to patch the system during some specific time zone, or I want to give my machines to automatically download the patches, and also I can just go and patch the system on a specific interval. Okay, so let me show you the options here. So as of now, you can just go and configure which is the active hours for your system and which is the passive hours for your system, so that if there is some critical patches that is missing, or if there is some important patches, it will automatically go and patch the system during the non-active hours. But this should not be followed for your production systems. For non-production QA, or maybe like some of your development system, you can just go and select the automated option either within the operating system or in the Azure console. I'll show you what exactly how exactly we do it in the Azure console auto update option. Okay, so the next options which are not available, like Azure orchestrated, is not available for the current operating system. There are two reasons for that. The first reason, the Azure orchestrated option is mainly for systems that are in high availability. Okay, see, for example, when you say high availability in Microsoft Azure, we have a concept called availability set. Okay, if you have more than one system that are there for your operating system, you can just go and utilize this, right? You can go and utilize the what do you call the availability set option, and you can just go and update it with availability first concept. Okay, so when I say availability first concept, okay, this is the practice that most of the organization follow, or availability first update, or availability first principle. I'll tell you what exactly this means. Okay, so when you have multiple server for a specific application, okay, and if you have scattered those system across region, okay, you have server 1 in one region, server 2 in another region. So what might happen, so if you have some geo pairs configured, if you have paired region enabled for your application, so if both the systems goes down at the same time, then your availability will get into a task, right? Your SLA will be impacted because both the systems went down at the same time. So what Microsoft will do is they will not patch the paired region at the same time. So if they have paired region concept, they will have automated patches getting patched in one weekend on Saturday, and the second region on the other day or the other weekend. So they will orchestrate in such a way that both the paired regions will not get impacted at the same time of patching. Okay, so that's how Microsoft will take care of if the systems are across the region. And if it is within the region, they will make sure that the availability zones are patched on different days or a different time. Okay, so different recurrent cycle. Okay, by doing that, your systems which are configured for high availability either across the region or within the region across availability set, they will be orchestrated in such a way that the systems, both the systems which belong to the same group, will not get impacted. So they will be done one after another, maybe on different days or different weekend, so that your patches are getting properly applied. So there is one major challenge when you follow this approach. What might be the major challenge I'm about to talk about? Any guess? See here, I'm doing a patching for one of the server at one weekend, and I'm planning to do that on the other weekend as per the Microsoft availability first principle way of doing it. So what might be the challenge if I follow this principle or if I go by this principle? Any wild guess, or anyone has come across this challenge? Okay, you guys are following me. You guys are able to hear me? You understand? Okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what I'm trying to cover here is, or convey here is, see, we had some challenges on this particular practice. So this practice is very good, and it helps you high availability, and it helps you get all best practices in place. But still, see, your application, if it belongs to the same cluster, or if it does the same activity, or if it does have the same roles and features, then both the systems which belong to the same cluster should not have different patches installed. right? That's the principle, right? If you have a machine set of machines in the cluster, all should be identical in terms of configuration, in terms of patches, in terms of updates or whatever. It has to be at the same level. So we were not able to use this principle, and what we generally do for some of the customers, we go and patch manually. We don't go with Microsoft automated or Azure orchestrated option. Instead, we will go and schedule on our own for such systems. We'll go and install the patches in the morning, and the second system will be brought down on the same day. In the evening or on the weekend, I will complete both the systems, so that the systems on the cluster or in the same functional group will get the same patches or same patch level in the same day or same weekend, so that we don't get into this kind of gaps between the systems in the same cluster. Okay, so Azure orchestrated option, it helps you with a very beautifully orchestrated way, so that your application will not experience downtime because of the orchestrated patching. So one data center will go down at a time, and one region will be impacted at the time, so that both the systems which belongs to the same data center, sorry, same region or different region will not get impacted. So that is what we call it as Azure orchestrated option. And why this option is not available? Because we don't have, I mean, I have not selected the availability set option. So this options will be applicable for the systems which belongs to the availability set. And the second other important thing, that these options are natively available for your latest operating system like Windows 2022 and the latest OS. Okay, so anyone have heard about the hot patch concept? Any idea what is hot patching? Okay, anyone have heard about live patching in your SUSE Linux operating system or in your Linux operating systems?
Yeah,
Have
we
you heard
are
about?
doing
Hmm,
live patching for Linux operating system because our servers are there and
hmm.
we have periodical patching scan.
Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe like Kanagraj, I'm not putting you on the spot, but
Yes.
like what exactly that does mean? Like what exactly live patching means for the non-technical or technical audience here?
Okay.
Like
It's
what is
kind
the
of
benefit of live patching? Hmm. Without reboot?
uh,
Yeah, that's the answer. That's the answer. Okay, so whoever said it is the answer, but yeah, I'm trying to hear from Kanagraj because he's using it, right? So yeah.
yeah, right. One
Oh,
second.
anyways, okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So no worries. Okay, so you can take your time also. See, live patching is patching your system or updating your system without rebooting the system. So what this will do different, or like how this works in from your regular patching is like there are three different patching, right? So when I say three different patching, so we call it as planned patching. We go and plan the patches every third weekend or every fourth weekend. That is planned patching. So we know that we have to patch the system every third weekend or fourth weekend. And suddenly there is a critical update that comes in, and an important update that comes in, and we go and create a change request, emergency change request or expedited change request, and we get it fixed because important security updates might come anytime. See, there might be some zero-day exploit patches. Like recently, there was a log4j vulnerability that came, right? And most of the organization, they have to fix it without any delay. They have to fix it the same day or the same week and close it off. So unplanned patches and updates can come anytime. So if you talk about critical or security or important, these are all something which is very important. Important itself is very important for some of the financial organizations or some of the healthcare organization. They will treat even the important patches similar to the critical patches. But here, the planned patching, it's like your regular cadence, right? So every second Tuesday, Microsoft releases it, and you know that you have to apply it on third weekend or fourth weekend, and it will cover almost all the updates, including the patches that needs reboot, like the planned patching. But how come the hot patching will help you? Hot patching is going to update the system at the memory level. Okay, it is not going to update the actual base operating system. It will go and apply the patches or apply the fix on the running processes, or it will go and apply it on the virtual memory, on the running processes, and I don't know. This guy wants to give me loan. Okay, he's continuously trying. Okay, so apply the patches on the running processes, and it updates only the virtual memory. So what happens is like your system will be reported as uh, patch consistent, or your machine will be reported as having the patches, but in reality, the patches are not applied to your base OS. It's not applied directly to the kernel. It is applied only on the virtual level or at the virtual memory level. It is called as like the in-memory code concept, or it goes and updates only the in-memory code. So the memory will have the code running or executing the application, right? That code will get updated rather than your kernel code itself. So hot patching doesn't need reboot of your system, and when you reboot it, it will get applied to your kernel, the base kernel. Okay, so that's how it works, and this has been in your SUSE Linux operating system and some of the Linux operating system for a while. But for the Windows, hot patching has been recently introduced. Okay, so it's there for your Windows 2022 operating systems. Like in Windows Server 2022, you have this hot patching option by default available. Okay, I can show you that. See, if I go and select the Windows Server 2022 operating system, I will be able to choose that option. Let's go and deploy that. Okay, let me go and select um, Windows Server 2022. 2022 small disk. I will go and deploy small one because I have got a lot of systems created and I got only 1000 credit. I need to use it tomorrow also. So here I can just go and select the Windows 2022 Core Edition. And if you look at now, if I go to the management option, you can see, oh, not this one, sorry. Okay, this is Windows 2022 Core. Okay, minimal OS. Okay, so let me go and just give me a second, guys. I can just go and filter it down. I can go and select 2022 Azure. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, even small disk is okay. So I can just go and create it. Okay, I'll create Stan, the password. Okay, now if I go and check, I should have, I should see at least the options automatically enabled. Okay, it will enable Azure orchestration option, plus it will also enable the hot patching option. See, hot patching will be enabled by default. So hot patching allows you to take the critical and security updates to your virtual machine without restarting the operating system. Okay, that is what hot patching is all about. Okay, and this is available from your Windows Server 2022, and this is a very good option. In fact, there is very less downtime for your application. But this has been there in this term is for your Linux operating systems. Okay, like they call it as live patching, but Microsoft calls it as hot patching. This is a new way of installing your patches. So when I say new way, we are installing it on the in-memory code, not on the actual base kernel, and that's how it helps fix things. Okay, so Kanagraj, I mean, you have any other additional points, or anyone has any other inputs on that?
Stan, I have one
Yeah,
quick question here, Stan.
question. Okay,
So,
fine.
yeah, it's a very good option. And
Mm,
my doubt is, so it is applying the patch changes, or it's having the record in the virtual memory, right? So,
yeah,
whenever the reboot is happened, that time it
mm,
will actually write into the voice. That is the concept
correct,
here.
correct.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. So see the
okay, Stan.
advantage. Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah, so maybe I'll type in some of these. If you guys want to refer it later, I can also capture few points. See, here the biggest advantage is less reboot. Less reboot means less downtime for your application, right? Your application need not go down. And the other advantages is it is like smaller, quick update. So Microsoft has started releasing quick updates concept using the hot patches. Hot patches for Windows 2022, they are releasing very small, quick updates which can have better protection for your organization. Okay, it can help you your systems stay highly protected because we are applying it very quickly, and it is again lower impact to your workload. That is less downtime for your application. I've already captured it, but I'm just writing it in a different English here. So I would say these are the biggest advantages. And as you said, so the hot patches will get applied as part of your maintenance window. Okay, so your regular reboot cycle, automatically it will get applied to your direct kernel. Okay, so yeah. And okay, so we have already seen this 4 options. So in Windows, we have 4 options, and you can see that it automatically selected the Azure orchestrated option. This is for the Windows 2022. Okay, so that's the biggest advantage of going with Windows Server 2022. It supports hot patching, and also it supports by default Azure orchestrated option. So let's go and review and create it. And meanwhile, I can also uncheck some of the options. Go ahead. If there is a question, please ask.
Shan, for the plant
Yeah.
patching, we can do any scripting to automate, right? Because we are doing for other environments. So,
Correct, Kanagaraj. Yeah, I'll come to that point. Okay, I'll show you how
okay.
to do the plant patching. Even the plant patching can be automated as much as possible. I'll tell you how to do that. I'll come to that part.
Okay.
We are just starting,
Sure.
right? Yeah. The entire day we
Okay.
are going to discuss the same thing: patching, and again, still
Okay.
updates. Yeah.
Sure. Sure. Thank you.
So Stan, none of these options have managed patching, right? Meaning we cannot select the patches, right?
We can select the options. I'll show you. See, this is just about selecting the uh, way how you want to patch it, whether you want to go with the manual option, whether you want to go with the Azure orchestrated option, or whether you want to go with the automated option. So if you're going for automated, even we can go and filter down which patches you want to update, which separate option you want to select. So that I'll come to that part. That is what is very, very important. I'm going to come to that part shortly. See, there are a lot of different grouping, right? And not all the groupings are approved for all the organizations. So we have to go and selectively select which ones we are planning to update and complete it. 1 second. So let's talk about that. Maybe that's very important now. So let's talk about the patch group, or we call it as patch classifications. So any questions from anyone so far on what we have covered or discussed?
Stan,
Yeah.
so as of now, we are sticking to every month second Tuesday, right? So coming to 2022 with a hard patching,
Mm-hmm.
so we no longer no need to stick or wait until every second Tuesday, right?
Yeah, that is a
The
very good point.
cycle
Yeah, yeah.
it will be changed.
Yeah,
Only
because
we
like
need to
it,
stick for remote.
yeah, it is a new way of handling things, right? You can just go and directly do it, and we are also, that's the another point that I highlighted here, right? We are doing smaller quick updates. Quick updates means we are doing faster deployment rather than waiting for uh, the regular cycle, like third weekend or second weekend. We are doing it immediately. Like when there is something coming, like we go and do it now only, not wait for the weekend or whatever. And the hot patches, it gets released very frequently, right? That's the hot patch release also. I can also go and check, because like your plan thing comes some with some intervals, but the hot patches can be available very immediately. Okay, that's one more important point. Yeah. Okay, 1 minute.
Does it
Go
have
ahead.
additional option?
Yeah.
The hot patches, if it is in memory, not rebooted, because Microsoft can't believe in some cases that may lead some problem, right? So if you want to roll back, does it have option actually?
Okay, you mean to say like okay, so you want to get that rolled back, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So if there is some issue, then if there is a issue because of the in-memory installation, then we have to kind of bring that system down, or you have to go and roll back to the snapshot. We have to definitely take a snapshot before even applying the hot patches. That is the practice that we generally follow. Even though it is a hot patching, we kind of take a snapshot just to be on a safer side.
Mhm.
I understand your question, okay, but again, it needs some maturity, and a lot of customers will experience different things, but still, like, it's a very early stage now, right? So it's a better way. I mean, whatever changes you make, either it is online or offline, you generally go and take a snapshot, right, in order to get things rolled back. Microsoft cannot come and help you with just removing only the hard patch, which is in your in-memory code, which is very tough for them, but there will be a way that might come in the future. But for now, the easier way is to go and roll back the snapshot, or at least to the previous state where the system was properly functioning. Make sense?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, fine. So just give a minute. So how many of you are kind of doing patching regularly? I think most of you, almost all of you, might be um, involved in that, right?
Stan,
Any
actually, I have a
yeah.
team for
Uh-huh.
Linux and Windows, so we have
Okay.
regular patching. So
Okay.
apart from that, unplanned anything comes in, we have to do some critical and emergency process we have to follow,
Mm-hmm.
and we are doing vulnerable also. That is a
Mm-hmm.
separate thing, and recently Log4j, and there are
Correct.
many things we have completed. So team is doing every alternative weeks.
Correct. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So Log4j is coming under the vulnerability management, and similarly, yeah. So some people will, as a senior people, you guys have to be very clear with taking up the work, right? Some people will try to push the vulnerability handling work as part of your regular patching work. That is going to increase your workload, and it also needs a lot of due diligence, because like it might impact your applications functionality also. But if you are just going and touching some of the Windows OS level things, it is not, might also impact the application, but we are taking a regular downtime, and you're doing it in a planned way. So you have to be like little careful with accepting the vulnerability handling. But again, some cases like the Log4j, we had no options, right? You have to go and plan it, apply it. The senior manager is already giving the approval, and if something goes wrong, then they will also be one of the major contributor to come and fix that. Okay, so with that said, yeah, you guys think about any specific points you can add at a later stage in today's class, if in case you want to share some best practices, or some lessons learned part of your patching exercise, feel free to share, because like it's all knowledge sharing here, right? So let me continue here, and you guys can share as and when you find some good points to share with the team. Okay, so yeah, so we have different classification. We call it as critical updates, and critical updates is for a specific, or this update is for specific problem, but it will be for non-security related bug. Okay, and if it is security related, it will be classified as security updates. Okay, so this is for product specific, and also it is security related issue. Okay, so the next one that comes is actually the what do you call, they call it as service pack, right? Service pack is mainly a combination of pack, and in some organization they also have something called update rollups. Update rollups, for example, hotfix is a, it's, I mean, don't get confused with this hot patching and hotfix. Hotfix is a small fix that Microsoft releases for a specific problem. Okay, fix for a specific hot issue currently. So we have a hot issue for one customer or 10 customers. Microsoft releases a hot fix to solve that problem for now. But after a kind of 1 week or 2 week, they release cumulative package or cumulative set of hot fixes. So which will be combined hot fixes that was released for multiple customers. So customer A might have reported a bug, they might have reported an issue, and they might have released a hot fix. Similarly, hundreds or thousands and thousands of customers are there, right, across the globe for Microsoft. So they will combine all those hotfixes into a cumulative set or a cumulative package, and it can be applied into one group, and it can be easily deployed, okay, because it is one update rollup patch, which will, I mean, it's called as update rollup patch, but it's a collection of hotfixes. It is going to fix multiple things. That's the reason we call it as multiple, or like cumulative set of hot fixes. Okay, it's not one fix, it's multiple fixes are going to get updated. And the next one is the feature rollup. So feature rollup is mainly to improve the product, or the product releases or new changes or new enhancement or whatever, right? So these feature updates are product releases or product feature enhancements. So for this, you have to take approval from the application owner. You cannot go and do it right away. So only thing that we can generally go and do is critical and security patches. Most of the organization, they will apply the critical and security patches for all the machine, irrespective of their roles. And when I say role, it can be a middleware server, it can be an app database or whatever, they will apply this. But these things which are listed below might be targeted for a specific role of a system or a specific operating system or a specific server. So in that case, you cannot go and apply the hot fixes or feature rollups to all the systems. You need to go and consult with your account security officer. There will be different persons with different role. They will take care of the discussion on the security aspect. So they will go and talk to the customer that there is a set of patches that has come, whether we can apply to these system systems and all those things. They call it as cloud security officer, or they call it as cloud security orchestrator. There are different names in different service provider organization, okay, but their role is to make sure your systems are up to date, and machines are having all the necessary patches to mitigate the current situation. So this is feature rollups. It has to be discussed with the application owner before we go and update it. So we call it as feature rollups, or we call it as feature pack. Both are same. Okay, and the next one is the service pack. This everyone knows, right? So service pack gets released once in a quarter or once in a specific release cycle. And see, for example, Windows 2008 will have service pack 1, service pack 2, and similarly your application also will have service packs. Okay, so Microsoft releases service pack for your OS application like Windows of Microsoft Office and all those things. So they release it in this is again a cumulative set of hot fixes. Okay, but it will have a wide range of thing. It might cover for 3 months or 4 months together. But this one, the update rollup will come once in 2 weeks or maybe once in a month. But service pack might not come that frequently, but it will come once in a while. But that will cover a larger range, maybe 3 months combined hot fixes, or 6 months combined hot fixes will be there. And okay, so the next ones are definition update. If your team who was using Microsoft antivirus or anti-malware or defender or all these things, okay, so you will get definition update. You might have heard about antivirus tool, right? So antivirus tool will provide definition updates to have definition updates to your virus to avoid the virus getting spread, or to avoid the malware getting installed or spread on your system. And there are some other tools that comes, okay, they call it as tools. Tools are specifically for a specific utility like Internet Explorer or Server Manager, or it focuses on specific utility feature. Okay, it will go and fix a specific bug on a specific utility. Utility is an application within your operating system. And there are some specific updates that get released for a specific application like your Windows Microsoft Internet Explorer, or your Edge browser, or for your server manager, or for some specific console. It is not for your entire operating system. This is an update to your application or registry or whatever, right? It's specific to some specific small one. So these are the general things that we have as part of your Microsoft Windows. Okay, and as I told at the beginning, only critical and security patches will get automatically approved by the security board, and we can apply it. But rest of the things, we need to have a discussion with an application owner who owns the application running on that particular server, and we have to decide it. Okay, so that's how it works. But when it comes to Linux flavor or Linux operating systems, so we have got critical and security updates combined together, and we have got other updates. Only two classification. That simple it is. Okay, so this is for uh, these two things combined together. Okay, so it will be update for both non-security and security related in this one, and other updates is anything other than the critical and security. It can be a tool update, or it can be a definition update, or whatever. Okay, so other updates covers all the other which are not critical in nature and not related to security. Okay, that's it. Not critical in nature and not related to security updates. So I mean that's the thing, right? So critical and security is covered, and other is other than what it say. Like, so Linux, it is like pretty much only two groups which we go and update it. And on the Linux, we always go and update only the critical and security. Other updates, again, we need to check with the application owner, and we have to provide them. These are the patches that we are planning to install, and these are the ones I'm going to update, whether I'm good to go and do it. See, for example, here in my system, I have to go and check with an application owner that there is a cumulative update, and whether this KB article, are we good to update, whether there is any issue with installing it on my system. This is the role of the client security orchestrator or cloud security orchestrator. They will go and say this is the thing that we are planning to apply, and whether any specific challenges is there related to that. So that decision has to be taken, and we need to kind of apply it. So I'll just show you something here. Microsoft does update. So go to the catalog. This is the catalog where we get all the necessary details, catalog.update.microsoft.com. So this is the portal which is used for Microsoft Update Catalog. So all the KB articles, all the patches can be verified here. Okay, so this is the catalog. Okay, it will have everything, all the different catalog. You can go and replace this KB article query with whatever KB article you want to check. So I will just go and check it here. So it says these are the KB article for different operating systems. So I'm concerned about 2019. I can just go and open it, and if I go and open it, it will tell me like detailed information, like what exactly that KB article is for. Even the application team can go and check that on their own, but the client security orchestrator, his responsibility is to provide the details around it. Okay, so he has to tell like this is what it is, whether the reboot is needed, what application might be impacted. So he need to provide all these details, which architecture it is going to apply to, which OS we are planning to update, and what exactly it is going to resolve. Okay, and if you go and look at the package details, what exact packages will get installed, and which is the target, whether it can request for restart, or it will definitely restart, or it will not restart. So all these things, it has to be provided to the application team to in order to take a decision. Okay, so for each and every KB article, you will have a detailed information about the things that I showed you, right? Which architecture it is going to get applied to, what kind of classification it is, whether it is a critical one or a security one, like all those information, it will be part of that KB article, and whether it needs restart. Okay, and which language operating system that this is applicable for, and whether it is applicable for Chinese or English language OS, or what OS it is, and what exactly the package is going to do, and whether it needs network connectivity, or some user has to provide some information. So all these information will be available. So these are the 10 important things. Or yeah, I think there is one more. Generally we share okay, so rollback option. Okay, how to uninstall that, or what exact rollback option we have. So these are the 10 information we provide, and the security, what they call, the application owner can take a decision, right? And similarly, you might have heard about open vulnerability and assessment language, right? OVAL files. Have you heard about OVAL files? Okay, if not, I can just show you that. For Linux, okay, we have the open vulnerability and the assessment language files. So this can be applied for almost all the vulnerabilities or patches or for many things. It can cover for multiple operating systems and multiple open source distribution. So they give you options to go and do patch management, patch compliance. So many organizations, if they are using a lot of Linux system, they will come and look at this particular portal, which can provide you a lot of different information. So this is again maintained by the Mitra organization, which I told you, right? So the Mitra organization maintains the this particular repository or the portal. Okay, it helps you to kind of understand what's going on in different organization and different stuff. So Linux, it's good to go and look at this catalog. But I mean, specific to your OS, you might have something. See, for example, if I want to download some Red Hat package manager, I can just go to the Red Hat specific location or go to the downloads in Red Hat, and I might need to have some subscription, but I can just go and download the specific packages and products from the direct providers website. Okay, but this one is common across all of them. Okay, so you might also go and do specifically to specific OS, or you can take the common approach also. Okay, so there is too much of talking. Okay, any questions from anyone? Okay, if not, let's get into the actual way of patching in Microsoft. So one biggest advantage I might have told you on the second day session is about the extended patches, right? So if you are migrating extended patch release for Azure VMs. So if you are having Windows 2008 R2 or SQL, or if you have Windows 2012 or SQL options, so you have extended updates from Microsoft. You know that, right? So you can go and get the extended updates enabled on your operating system, which you are migrating towards the cloud. So they will give you the MAC key, multiple activation key, and you can enable it for your system. Okay, so whichever you are migrating from your on premises, if you are migrating some 2008 or 2008 R2, you can go and register for this particular security update or extended security update. So this will help you to keep your systems updated even after you migrate to cloud. In your on premises, you don't have this extended service update option. So if you look at here, Microsoft is giving support for your Windows 2008 and 2008 R2 and SQL 2008 R2 until end of July 2022. Okay, so for SQL and Windows, you are going to get update until mid of this year, and for the Windows operating system until beginning of the next year. So you are going to get updates until that, but this is only for the system that are running on Azure platform. Okay, so this is the extended update that they are providing. So if you're running this Windows 2008 and 2008 R2, you will get option only in running. I mean, there are some customers who are very premier support customers for Microsoft, so they might get it as an ad hoc option, but specifically for smaller customers and all, you won't get it. Okay, this is only in Azure. Okay, so you will get additional update for the rehosted workload, meaning the system that you have migrated from on-premises to cloud. So in Azure, you will get continuous update. But if you are still running it in your on-premises, you might not get update for those older legacy operating system. Okay, so that's one big advantage you get when you are migrating to Azure platform. And for Linux, sorry, for 2012 also, I think next year or next to next year, it will come to they'll stop it. I think in 2023 they will stop it for okay, you can go through this. Okay, so if you just go and look at the last date for each and every operating system, you'll be able to get the data. I think it is somewhere in okay, 1 second, it's somewhere in 2023. Okay, that's all fine. Okay, so just be aware of it. So if you are coming to Microsoft Azure, you get extended support for your Windows legacy and the SQL legacy product. So that is only in Azure platform, and you need to go and enable that extended support security update option using that particular key that they are issuing, okay, for both operating system and your databases, SQL databases. Okay, so how do we do patching in Azure platform? You need to go to update management under Azure automation account, and here only we go and do it. You have to go and first create a automation account, because like updates are automated, right? So mostly most of the customers are going to automate the patching. So in general, you need to go and create an automation account first in order to start with the patching activity. So for Azure update management, automation account is a prerequisite. And not just for update management, automation is applicable for almost many different services, but you need to create an automation account first. This is for all management activities and automation operation that we are going to perform. So automation account has to be created as a prerequisite before we go and use the update management. So update management feature is a part of automation account concept. So let's do this. Now I can just go and create a automation account. You can just go and use the same resource group. I'll just call it as Stan Update Management Automation Account. Okay. So click on, okay, it can be system admin. Last week we were talking about, right? It's a service account is what going to get created. So if I want to patch the system, or if I want to use the automation account in the public space, I can select the public space. Or if I want to use only an Azure platform, Azure platform privately to the specific virtual network, I can also say private access, but there are two options that are available within your Azure automation account. You have network connectivity option, which can be used publicly, as well as you can use within your private endpoint or private within your VNet. Okay, I'm going to use it on the internet. Okay, and I can just create, because I'm also going to patch some of the systems running on non-Azure platform also. I'll be showing you how to patch the system running on AWS and on premises and so on. So let's see. But if you are planning to patch only in your virtual network in Azure, you can select the private option. Okay, but since I'm going to show the demo for both private and public, I have selected the public option. Okay, so once after the automation account is created, you can see an option called update management. Okay, so update management is part of your automation account, where you can go and use it. And as a second step, you need to have a log analytics workspace. Okay, log analytics workspace is one more prerequisite in order to have the update management feature enabled. So why we need this log analytics workspace? It is again a storage account. Okay, so log analytics workspace is a storage account, but with intelligence enabled, or with artificial intelligence enabled. So it will go and collect all the machines currently installed patches, installed updates, when it was installed, who installed it, all those information needs to be stored somewhere, right? That storage is called the log analytics workspace. It will tell you which patches are already installed, which patches we need to install, and when it was installed. So all those historical and these information will be stored here. And at the beginning of the class, I told you that update management is free of cost, but I did not say there is no other cost involved, right? So definitely there are some cost involved. For automation account, you have to pay for it. Okay, so it is chargeable. And if you are using it on the public endpoint, the data transfer is chargeable. And again here, the log analytics workspace is chargeable. Space is chargeable. So you are using this, right? Okay, so some people take this interesting analogy, but I don't know. Okay, we don't have female, right? So people call. They see, if you go to a specific shop, or I would say, like if you're going to some let's say they will say that the beer is free of cost, but the side that you're taking, that will be chargeable, right? It's like that. So here update management comes free of cost for you, but the additional things will be very high in charge. So you have to be careful. Okay, when you propose something to the customer, the update management is free. Okay, like the beer in the wine shop, but again, sorry, not in the wine shop, in the bar, but the other things that you are buying, in order to consume that, you have to pay for it extra, right? So that's the way it is here. So I told you that update management is free of cost, but I did not say that the complete update management process itself doesn't need any additional cost. There is a cost associated for patching process. How the cost is getting incurred? By adding this automation account and log analytics workspace. For the storage, you have to pay for it, because it is again an intelligent storage. Definitely it is not, it is slightly higher than your normal Azure storage option. Okay, got it? So these are the two prerequisite which you need to create and enable before you go and use the update management. Okay, I'll go and create a log analytics workspace. Okay, I'm not sure, there is no workspace, right? I'll go and create one. Okay, and let me enable it. Okay, it is going to create a new workspace. And one more important thing, see here, it is getting a workspace created on East US 2. So similarly, you have to be very careful. You cannot use the same log analytics work. I mean, I think there is an option that they are coming up with, that you can use it in different region. But if you are transferring the data across the region, then again, data transfer cost also is there. Okay, so you have to be very careful. If you are storing all the um, uh, data outside of a region to a different region, then you have to be very, very careful, right? So just keep that in mind. So, okay. So let's wait for a minute. It's getting enabled, and I also need to enable it for the East US region also. So did I create this particular automation account in, okay, let's not disturb that. Let me go and create one in East US also, because I've got some machines in East US, some machines in East US too. No, nothing is in East US too, I guess. It's all in East US and Central US, I guess. Okay, let's go and create one more. I'll create one more automation account. So this one is, oh, okay, this one is created in East US, but the log space was created in East US too. That's pathetic. Okay, let me go and create one in the East US location. Go to log analytics workspace. So I'll create it as Stan East US workspace 1. Okay, I'll create it in East US. So we can create. I should have used the same one, but let's see. Okay, at least it failed. I can just go and try to use the same one. Let's see. It installed, huh? Anyways, that's fine. Okay, so let's give it a minute. Okay, here also I'll just wait for the log analytics workspace to create. Okay, so now once after you do it, okay, you can go and add Azure VMs and add non-Azure VMs. And if I want to add Azure VMs, I can just go and click add Azure VM, and it will show me the machines that are in that particular region to be included. See, it is saying whether it is a cross region data or it is the same region. This is where you have to be very, very careful, because cross region will again need additional cost. Okay, important. And you can select this, and I can add it to the same resource group, and okay, this is all fine. I can go and enable it. I can also auto configure it. Okay, when I create the VM, there is an option to do that. I'll show that also. Okay, okay, let me go to the other one, the new one that we created. So here, if I go to the workspace, or if I go to the computer groups, I'll be able to see that. Okay, is there an automation account that is linked? Let's see. If it is not linked, I'll create one more. Okay, there is no account. Okay, let me just go and create another automation account. I will just call this as Stan automation account A02. Okay, let me create the automation account again, and I'll map it to the other log analytics workspace. Okay, let's give it a minute. And here it is going on enabling on the Windows VM01. Okay, that is going on already. And I'll also show you how to add multiple machines. So if I go to the update management, I can go and use the existing log analytics workspace. I need not go and, okay, automatically it is picking up the other one. Okay, what is this one? I can use the same, okay, this is the same workspace, right? Yeah, it's the same workspace ID. It's why it's not allowing the other one. Okay, it's already linked, right? So it will not allow, but why it is not allowing me to? Interesting. Whether I'm running short of capacity. Okay, let's see. Let's just give it a minute, and then we can wait and confirm. Okay, let me go back here, and I can refresh it. So it will take a couple of minutes. Okay, so immediately it will not come here. So it will take 1 or 2 minutes to report the first data. Okay, after you add it, just don't try it regularly. It will take 1 or 2 minutes to show up. Okay, there is a latency always when you go and add enable it for the first time. It will take some time. So I'll show you how to do the non-Azure VMs also. Okay, just let's refresh it and wait for a minute. And okay, I'll show you how to add the non-Azure VMs. See, I can just go and download the agent for the non-Azure VM, and I can start collecting it. And the very important thing is I need to allow the specific Azure related portal on that machine in 443 port. Okay, otherwise it cannot be patched across the internet. For non-Azure VMs, either on premises or AWS or GCP, you need to allow this specific port numbers. This is very important, and this is where there will be a lot of issue, and you have to allow the traffic to this particular location. Then only you can manage the non-Azure VMs from the Azure portal. Okay, and what I have to do now is I can just go and log into the Azure VM, sorry, the non-Azure VM, maybe where exactly is my AWS. So I've just launched a new instance. Okay, I can just select this. This is a new VM I'm made to log in. Okay, I'm just going to log in for the first time. Okay, let's just go and pick my key. This is for North Virginia, March 2022, North Virginia. Okay. Okay, so the reason I'm showing this, like I want to show demo for the non-Azure VM also. Okay, so that's the reason I'm just adding this AWS VM. I'll show you how to patch both Azure and non-Azure VM from one single place. Okay, this is my IP address on non-Azure. Okay, I'll try and connect to that. Okay, so I've logged in to the machine. So now I can also just go and log in to the Azure portal just for a minute. I'll show you. I can also download the agent directly, but I'll show you how to properly do it. Okay, let me go and disable all those unwanted, that security related thing, so that it allows me directly without prompting me for more details. Okay, let me just disable this. Also, 443 needs to be enabled for that particular list of website on your firewall and also in your physical firewall. Okay, so this AWS machine is very small, right? It is having only 1 GB and 1 CPU. It will be little slower compared to our Azure VMs. Azure, we provide big size capacities. And yeah, let me close this. Let me log into portal.azure.com. Okay, I have to close and open the browser to apply. Hmm. This is what it makes more interesting with Microsoft. Okay, so I'm preparing this machine to be patched by Azure platform. The machine is in AWS platform, but it is going to be over the internet, and I'm just going to show you the steps involved to add them. You can do the same thing for any machines in on premises or GCP or any other location. Okay, it's exactly the same step. So now here, what's going on? Any changes? Any new machines showing up? Okay, still it's waiting. So now let me go to manage machine. Okay, it should show up the specific machine which we added here. Okay, no, not at really. Okay, so this still not available. Let's give it a minute. So let's check it here. So Chrome is ready. I can log into the portal now. Let me log into Azure portal. Okay. Slightly little slow. I'll show you the steps here. Okay, if I want to add a machine, okay, so that is a little slow. I can show it in this machine. Okay, another time. So let me close this. I'll show you the steps involved. I have to log into the portal. Here under the portal, I have to go to the specific update management console on the home. Go to, I'll just close this. So here I have to go to the specific automation account. I typed it wrong, but still it came up. Okay, so I can just go to one of them. Okay, here go to the update management and then check which is the log analytics workspace we have got. Okay, still the machines are not listed, but I can go to overview and I can check which workspace this is connected to. So this is connected to this workspace, right? I can just go to the workspace, and here under the agent management option, I'll see the option to download the agent for both Windows and Linux. Okay, this is a Windows 64-bit, right? I can just go and download this one. Okay, so this will download the Microsoft Mobility Agent setup. So I can just go and open that when it is completed. Okay, you can download for both Windows and Linux here. Okay, and based on your architecture, you can go and download the 32 and 64-bit. This is the one which will help you to connect to the Microsoft Log Analytics workspace. Okay, so if you want to add your machine to Microsoft Log Analytics workspace, you need to download that MMA agent. Okay, it's available for both Windows and Linux. So first step is you have to go and download the agent, and as I showed you, the download agent option will be under your workspace, Log Analytics workspace, under Agents Management. So go to your Log Analytics workspace. Under the Agent Management, you can download the agent based on your operating system. For Windows and Linux, 32 and 64-bit releases will be available. Okay, once after it is downloaded and ready for installation, you can just go and start the installation. It will install the Microsoft Monitoring Agent setup. And if it is already there, it will go and repair, or if it is you are newly installing it, you can install option will be there. But let me repair this. I'll show you how to install it on the other machine. Okay, let this go on, and similarly, I'll just check the other one, portal.azure.com. Slow, but it's going on. Let me go and install it. Okay, it's responding. So I'm doing in two machines in parallel, one in my AWS machine and the other one in my Azure machine. I'm just showing you how to do that. See, once after you complete the Microsoft Monitoring Agent, what it will do is, this is more or less like the workspace. You can consider this as a system center system center configuration manager in your on-premises. See, historically, if you ask me, earlier we had something called OMS, Operations Management Suite. Okay, so Operations Management Suite or Suite, they had it, and they replaced it with now ICCM, and now they have the Microsoft Azure Update Management. So all these are kind of completely related to each other, and that's the reason you will see the name OMS and ACCM in many of the areas. So once after you go and register it, install it, it will ask me an option whether I want to complete the installation and proceed with registration. It will ask us the option to register it. So what are the inputs we need to give? We need to provide the workspace ID and the key to connect to it. So we are going to programmatically connect, right, for that particular machine. So you can just go to the control panel. Here under the specific programs that is installed. Okay, you can go and check the Microsoft Windows update, my Microsoft Monitoring Agent. Let's quickly check that. If it is there, then we can just directly go and open up the Microsoft Monitoring or the MMA one. 1 second, guys. I think it repaired and added to the same old thing. Let me show you in this machine. It will go and ask for the authenticator, send notification, authenticator, number 34, approve. Okay, connect. Okay, so now we have connected. I can just go to the workspace. Under the workspace, go to the agent management screen, and here download the agent. And once after the agent is downloaded, you can go and run that. Okay, once after you run that, you will be asked for the workspace ID and the primary key if you are installing it for the first time. Okay, just give it a minute. You can also go and create some groups if you want. See, for example, if I want to create some group like AWS or some specific group you want to create, you can also group create. You can also create, import the machine directly from Active Directory. See, if you go and select this option, all the machines in your Active Directory domain from the web member server will be automatically available. And if you're already using a Windows Server Update Service or SCCM, you can also come and include that group here. You can also migrate the existing groups from your Windows Server Update Service or Active Directory. You can also select the Active Directory OU structure or the group structure, and you can also use the System Center Configuration Manager. So if you have already created some group in this tool, you can directly add them to your log analytics workspace. Okay, here I'm going to install it. Okay, it will ask me let me agree to the privacy statement. It is asking me where exactly I want to install it. I can install it on the separate disk drive also by checking the disk usage. So here, this option was not available because we repaired it, right? So it is asking me whether I want to connect to the System Center Operation Manager for monitoring, or whether I want to connect to Log Analytics Workspace. I want to connect to Log Analytics Workspace. See, that's what I was telling you, right? Earlier it is called as OMS, and now they have rebranded it. So Microsoft is using the same tool, but with small changes or small tweaking. They are using it for different flavors. So I have to select the second option where I want to connect this particular system to Azure Log Analytics Workspace. And this is part of your Microsoft Monitoring Agent installation. Click Next. It will ask me which workspace I want to connect. What is the key for that? So that is what is available here. Okay, copy the workspace ID. Paste it. Copy the one of the key and paste it, and you can select Azure China or Azure Commercial or US government based on the Azure environment you are going to connect. You can give it, and if your environment has got some proxy setting, you can also go and enter the proxy setting and install it. Okay, so if you want to enable the automatic update for this particular Microsoft monitoring agent, you can also use Microsoft Update to update the MMA setup. Okay, if you want to do that, you can do that. Okay, and install it. So it's not for the operating system update, it's for the MMA tool to get automatically updated as part of the patching release cycle. Okay, so it's getting installed on this particular machine. So once after it is installed, you can go and check it on the Azure portal. Okay, so this is how we add the non-Azure VMs to, you can also do it, you can also push this MMA agent through your SCCM or any tools, BigFix or whatever, and you can automate also. Okay, it's not that you have to go and do it one by one, but you can also do it in one centralized console. So once after it is installed, you can go and check it here. So come to your workspace, come to the machines. Okay, not here, automation account, come to the automation account, come to update management. So here, it might not list it here. You have to go to manage machine and you will be able to see it here. Okay, just give it a minute. It should show me the EC2 instance possibly. Okay, it is taking some time to scan. So you can also go and directly do this, enable on all available currently listed machine and the future machine. If you do this option, automatically when there is a new machine getting added to the log analytics workspace, automatically it will be listed here. Okay, let's give it a minute. Okay, and it should come up. And meanwhile, I can also try and add any additional machines here. I don't think I can add any other machine in. Okay, let me go and select the East US. So here I can just go and select couple of VMs. So I'll select this Ubuntu Linux and the Windows WAC VM. So I can just go and enable it. So I'm going to add these two VMs. You can add multiple VMs at the same time. You can combine Windows and Linux. See, I'm adding one Windows and one Linux, Ubuntu with Linux. So you can also do both of them. Okay. So let's give it a minute. So you can go and add it as a group, or you can also do one by one, or you can go and install the MMA agent and get them registered. So these are the different ways you can do it. Okay. So while that is happening, it's time for the short break. Any questions before I start the timer, before I go for the break? So far, we have discussed about general patch management strategy, how it works in Azure, and I talked about the different patches classification and the repository that is available. And we talked about the hot patching and the extended patch releases in Azure platform. And just now I showed you how to install the agent in order to connect it to update management. Okay, so these are some things which we have discussed. Any questions on the topics we have covered so far? Okay, if not, let me go ahead.
So how it will connect actually? It don't request agent, right? So how the connection will work between update management and the Azure machine?
Satish, your audio is very low, but still like you have to enable this particular ports. Okay, this particular outbound port
No,
has to be
this is for
allowed.
non-managed, right?
No, this is for
Non-Azure, right?
yeah, non-Azure, correct? Yes.
No, I'm asking Azure managed system. So how it won't require any agent, right? Azure management
By default, Azure
or
has got an agent, right? It will leverage that.
oh, okay, okay, to use that one.
Yeah, yeah. It's the
Okay,
same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. At the end, it is going to be the same thing. Yeah, they are providing it for different use cases. Only that is the difference. Yeah.
okay. No, the agent will be MMA or
It's
different.
almost the same, but yeah, so it's going to be the same. It's
Okay,
going to be the same, but it might be called it as Azure agent in Azure platform. But if it is used for something else, it's called a little differently. Yeah, MMA.
okay.
So let's start. Let me stop the recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, let's resume. Welcome back. And okay, let's go and check what has happened now. Okay, let's go to the home. And this is Linux, right? Sorry, this is Amazon machine. It will be a little slow. Let's try to see it in the. Okay, now if I go to my automation account and under the update management, I should see at least few machines now. If I'm still not seeing it, I can go to manage machines and I can say select the machines from the list. Okay, so you can see that the Amazon machine is now listed. Okay, the EC2 Amazon, this is the name of the Amazon Linux system. That is the default name Amazon EC2 provides, right? So if you look at here, so this is the one EC2 ends with C08. Okay, so you can go and add that machine in your Azure Update Management Console. You can also enable all available and future machine. Okay, so that anything that gets added automatically it will get enrolled. You need not go and manually update it. So in general, you need to go and add the machine and go to the manage option and get them added here. Okay, now I have shown you how to do the addition of, how to add the machines into the update management from non-Azure platform. And we also tried doing it for the Azure platform itself, right? I think that was done in the other automation account possibly. Can go and check it here. No, not this. Okay, so they are getting added. It's still not visible yet. Okay, let's see. Okay, somewhere we were trying that, right? Okay, let's go and try it again. Okay, this is already enabled. East US, it's still enabling. Okay, it is taking some time. That's fine. Okay, once after you do this, once after you add the machine, you have the option to go and schedule the update deployment. So this is what is scheduling, right? So if you want to schedule it, you need to get the inputs from your application owner or from the customer. You need to get the downtime window or the maintenance window when you can patch it or when you can do it. So in some of the application cases, you need to work with some of the application owners. See, in many climate is becoming very hot and power cut is inevitable. Okay, so back here, I mean back on the network, audio is okay, right? You guys are able to hear me back. Can one of you confirm?
Yeah, yes, man. That's
Yeah,
fine.
okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So here, yeah, I was about to talk about the downtime window and maintenance window. And in most of the cases, see, application owners, or there might be some special handling. When I say special handling, you might have to bring down the application, stop the application, and then you'll patch the VM, or generally we'll back up the VM, take snap, stop app, patch, and then start the app, or like reboot, start the app, start VM, and then okay, reboot covers that, but yeah, they will start the VM, sorry, start the application. So this is generally like for some of the application where the automation is not there, you'll have to do this. But some application owners, they might have auto stop the application using a script. So they will do it at a particular time, sorry, maybe like 9 p.m. or whatever, like there will be a scheduled time. And if they have stopped the application by 9 p.m., you can go ahead and patch it without asking them. See, otherwise you will have to coordinate with them, right? You have to send an email that we have taken the backup, time to stop the application, and we'll patch it, reboot it, and then we'll have to send an email again. So this will be like a lot of manual effort, and some people, if they are not available on time during the weekend, it might get delayed, right? But in general, many of the larger organization, or where they have a very good process, they will automatically stop the application using script at the scheduled time, meaning that before the downtime window, if the downtime is 10 p.m., they will stop it before 10 p.m. and the application will be offline before we patch it, and we can just go and do the regular patching and start it. And even you can do a fully automated patching also. If in case you want to patch the machine at the specific maintenance window and start it, you can also do it. That's what we are going to see now. So if I want to patch the system at a particular time, I can go and select which time I want to do the patching. I can just go and select the schedule settings. I can say that I want to do it every day, this particular time, either Eastern time or whatever, right? See here, let me see. So my machine is in Eastern actually. Uh, it should be United States. United States. Okay, sorry for the delay in searching here, Eastern time. So this machine, okay, 5:39. 5:39 is Eastern, right? Yeah, possibly Central, huh? Is it Eastern on Central time? This one, 5:40. Okay, 5:40 a.m. Okay, anyway, that's fine. So I'll patch this machine at 6 a.m. the Eastern time on a daily basis. For now, I'm just going to do it once. If I want to do it recurrent way, I can just go and do it every one day or every 1 month or a specific week or whatever if you want to do it. But I just want to do it only once this time, automatically at 6 a.m. and I can just add a group here. So here, before doing it, I can just go and say this is my AWS patch group. Okay, and I can just go and select the machines. I can just go and select the entire set of machines from the subscription. I'll be able to do that. Or you can go to non-Azure and you can select the non-Azure VM from here. Okay, and just go one step back and you can go and select the machines to update. Okay, here, imported machines is not there. Just go to machines. You should see that. Yeah, here you can see it is showing the Windows VM. It is yet to show the Azure VM, sorry, the AWS VM. Let's give it a minute, or else let's do one thing. Let's go and change this to Azure Patch Group 1, and then I'll select the Azure machine. Okay, I'll select this Azure VM. Select OK. You can add multiple machines at the same time. So here, based on your operating system, you can go and select these update. This is what I was explaining, right? At the beginning of the class, I was telling what exactly the update classification or patch classification is about. So these are the update classification that is available for your Windows operating system. Similarly, if you select Linux, you will be getting similar options. So here in Windows, you are getting these many, but in general, we will only do critical and security by default. Okay, so other options, it depends on organization to organization. If you're selecting Linux here, you'll get a different option here. Okay, you'll get only critical and other update option. So now this is where some of you are interested, right? I want to include a particular KB article. I don't want to exclude a KB article. So you can exclude a specific KB article for a specific set of application. If your application is already known that it has some issues, you can just go and say, I want to exclude this patch. And if I want to exclude that, I can just go and add that particular KB article, and it will exclude this KB article. Okay, yeah, you don't need to enter the KB. You can just give the number. That should be sufficient. Okay, but again, I don't want to do anything that there. Okay, you can include and exclude specific KB article here. Okay, or specific updates here, and you can select the time. And this is where it gets little interesting. Okay, the pre and post script. See, if you want to automatically stop the VM or automatically start the VM, you can also go and do it. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, but for now, let's skip that. So this option, maintenance window, this is very important again, because like we will get specific downtime. They will say we can just do it from 11 p.m. to maybe 3 a.m. Something like that. We have got 4 hours window. So if you enter 3 hours or 4 hours here, whatever installation that are currently in progress, that will continue to get installed and get the machine updated. But if there are something pending after this maintenance windows that is still yet to get installed, it will skip it actually. Okay, and you can also select what options you want to do, whether you want to reboot, whether you want to suppress the reboot, or whether you want to do the reboot irrespective of the patches, whether it needs reboot or not reboot. You will always reboot after the patching for all the patches, irrespective of their nature of reboot requirement. You can also only reboot and it will not install the updates. Maybe you periodically Windows Server, it's good to reboot, right, once in a while. So you can also go and use this option to just reboot the system without installing the update also. But here I'll say reboot if required. That is the default option. So by selecting all this, you can go and configure it. So here you can select the update classification based on the OS, Linux or Windows. You can select mostly organizations will select only critical and security by default, and you can give the maintenance window or interval in minutes, and you can also reboot behavior can also be controlled. Also, you can include and exclude specific KB updates, KB or patches. And the next one is you can create a group for selective machines, or you can individually select also. Okay, I'll show you that, and also you can have some pre and post scripts. I'll tell you a use case. See, for example, in a couple of my client environment, they will power off the non-production VM. Okay, non-production environment for cost saving, they will power off at around 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. Okay, and automatically the machine will get started next day around 7 a.m. something like that to save the cost. And if I have scheduled the patching between this, the machine will be powered off, right? So what I can do is, as a pre-script, I can go and start the VM if it is powered off, and stop the VM after the patching is complete. So I can also do that as a pre and post script. I'll show you how to do that along with the scheduling shortly. So now let me go and create it. Now I have created a scheduled deployment. So now automatically at 6 a.m. this machine will try to get updated. I'm referring to this machine, Windows VM1. As of now, the agent is ready, and it is not yet assessed for the compliance, which patches are missing, which level it is, that is not yet available. But you can see that once after the schedule is created, you can see the deployment schedule here. Okay, so Azure patch group 1 will be patched at this particular time, and it will be one time. 10:05 a.m. Did I select 10:05 a.m. or maybe 10? My God, I thought I selected a different time. Okay, United Eastern, 6 a.m. only, right? Any idea why it is showing 10 a.m.? Is it 10 a.m. in our time? 6, okay, it cannot be like that. Okay, let me see. That is interesting. Next runtime is 10:05 a.m. So this machine is 5:47. And what is the time zone? Let me check the time zone. Oh, okay. So currently the machine is configured in coordinated time zone. Automatically it will pick up that way. Okay, maybe if I'm just setting it to the Eastern, then I think we'll be able to properly relate it. See, -5 will be -5, right? But still that doesn't match. So automatically update time setting, that is good. Okay, we need to have that. Sorry, what happened? Okay, 148. So I have to change this. So click this. I want to schedule it for 2 a.m. Okay, let's try. Let's give it a minute. Still it says 6 a.m. Why there is a 4 hours difference? I think it doesn't allow me to do I think it is, let's try a tweak here. So if I say okay, it says future time. So how do we assign it? Okay, let's cancel it. Okay, let's try it 6 a.m. only. Let's wait to see if it works. Ideally it should happen. Okay, let's refresh. I'll because of the time zone differences, it's having some challenges. Let's see. Let's go here. Okay, now I can see the Ubuntu Linux is now ready. Okay, maybe I can create the group in my machine rather than I don't want to get confused with my time zone. Okay, now let me go and schedule an update, and I'll say Linux. This is Linux group 1. Here I can just select the critical and security. I don't want other update. See, as I told you, you'll get only two classifications, security critical and the other update. And now I don't want to create any group. I just want to add only one machine. I can just go and select the machine here, select the Ubuntu and click OK. And here I can schedule the timing. And now it will be straightforward for me. It's India time, right? I'll just say India time. EFGHIJ India. And I will say at 11:30 a.m. I want to patch it. Okay, reboot if required. 120 minutes is fine. So here I'll show you how to do the pre and post script. Okay, as of now, currently it gives only the default one, right? In order to have that listed there, what you need to do is go to the automation account and go and import the runbook. See, for example, if I want to kind of do some stop VM before the patching, okay. For example, if the VM is already stopped, I can go and start it. Okay, let me click to browse from gallery. Here I'm looking for a script which can start my VM. Okay, I can select it. Okay, instead of just creating with a new name, you can do one more thing. Okay, I can just go and select this and I can go and import it directly. Okay, select it. Maybe let's see. I want to start VM and you can import it. You can change the description, whatever you want. Okay, and you can also stop the VM after the patching. See, this can be used for non-production, right? I was explaining a use case here that some non-production environment for cost saving, it will be powered off, right? And if I want to patch the VM at around 11 or 12 or midnight, I have to start the VM, patch it, and I have to stop it, right? I can create that as a pre-script and post-script. Okay, so here, in order for that to be made available, you need to go and publish it first. Okay, without publishing your runbook, you will not be able to use it on your update management. Okay, I'll go and check it now. So here, if I go to the pre and post script, okay, so the screen might not get refreshed automatically. I might have to, how do I tackle it? Okay, let me start it from the scratch. That's the problem when you are doing something on the console, it will not get automatically added. Still not coming. 1 minute. Let me check. Let me go to the run book. Let's see whether it is okay. It's still not visible. Okay, let me import a run book now. I can just browse for that from the gallery. I can also stop the VM guy. Also, I will include. I will call this as stan stop VM just to identify the name because there are already something there, right? I can go and import. So lots and lot of run book and CMD rates are already available. So earlier, few years back, we used to go and write a lot of scripts, but nowadays, most of the things are already there. Okay, I'll just go and publish it and save it. Okay, let me publish this one also. Override the previous. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, once after I publish it, I will be able to see that. See, for example, if I want to stop or start or run this workbook, I can also run this run book. Okay, but let me just go back one step. If I want to link to a particular time, I can also schedule it. But here I need to refresh it. Okay, see, now I can see the stand stop VM. And if I want to use that as a script here, I can go to update management, go to schedule update, and I can say this is for Linux group, Linux patch group 1, and I can select the Linux machine. So how do you pronounce this one? Linux or Linux? How do you pronounce most of you? You call it as Linux or Linux? Okay, at times I have to check the audio also, right? That's the reason I'm asking something. Yeah, okay. So
Yes, done. We'll call Linux.
Linux. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, so here, okay, see that's one more thing, right? It allows us to select a time at least 10 minutes away from now. Okay, so that's the reason I think the time was. It says the validation of start time is failing. Maybe I'll try 10 minutes from now. Yeah, it is allowing 10 minutes from now. Minimum 10 minutes window is needed because this is an orchestration request, right? If it doesn't work, then again they will complain them. So they are not allowing it. So here I can go and say stand. Oh, what happened? Available items, publish. I already did that. Add webhook, export, link. It should be there. Oh my God. Okay, I'm doing it in separate account. You should do it in your account which you are working. That's the problem. So this one should at least come. Okay, so let me check here. Okay, we'll try and add this in the next one. Okay, for now let's not delay it again. If we delay it, it'll take another 10 minutes. So let's run that. I'll add you. I'll show you how to add it. Okay, but for now let me start it. Let me create the scheduled update for Linux. So we have created one group for Windows. We have created one group for Linux. We'll create one more group for our non-Azure ones, the EC2 ones. It says it failed. Okay, let's see. Okay, cannot validate submission for update manager solution. Okay, fine. Let's see. I'll check that. Okay, now let's go and create one more group. This will be for my non-Azure patch group, or let's call it as AWS specifically, AWS patch group 1. And here I can go and select the AWS machine from the machines list. Okay, I can select this one. Great, okay. Can say I want to install only critical and security. And I can go and schedule it. I don't want to schedule. Okay, I can schedule it. Okay, 11:27. I will call this as 11:37 India time. Why they are not allowing to type in and select FGH India. Standard time. Okay. So here I'll see. Why they are not giving that option? Stand. I don't know. Let's check that. Okay, let's go and create it. Okay, now we have got 3 groups, 3 scheduled update deployment group for 3 different combination. One for Windows in Azure, one for Linux in Azure, one for AWS VM. Okay, we have created 3 groups and we have got 3 deployment schedule now. At least the time should be, okay, this one will work in 10 minutes. This one will work in 2 minutes. Good. Again, this one, okay, there is an error. Let's go and check. Cannot validate submission for update management solution used for details. Okay, maybe the VM that I'm selecting does not come under this classification. So I selected Ubuntu, right? Oh, okay. Oh, how come I selected Windows for Linux group? That's interesting, man. Pathetic. So you guys are active. Are you guys active? See here, I don't have power, so I'm definitely sweating and I'm definitely active. But somehow I selected the Windows machine and it threw the error. Okay, so if you are selecting the wrong ones, it will definitely throw the error. Now we are set, ready. Okay, at 11:30 the first patch will start. 11:35 the Linux machine will get patched. At 11:37 the AWS machine will get patched. So now we are all set. We can select multiple machines also. Okay, so once after you create the update management schedule, you can go and check the schedules here also. Okay, it will automatically go and create the schedules. So on a daily basis, based on your schedule, it will automatically keep running here. Okay, you can come and check whether the schedule was completed, or what are the different schedules that is lined up for today. So all those information will be available under your schedules here. So this is a separate item, like a task scheduler or a cron job, but it is, these are all integrated. Okay, update management will leverage these shared resources, the modules and the run book. So this can leverage all these options. It's a kind of combined package solution. Okay, let's give it a minute, and let's see it. You can also check if there is any specific jobs. See, these are the jobs that we have created. Okay, so no, not this one. So this is the computer which is added. Okay, let's wait for a minute. I could see some more machines now. Just let's see. I could see Windows AC VM1. Okay, Windows. Okay, now at least I can see some machines. So it's nothing is assessed as of now. That means the compliance level is not measured. Like if it is measured, it will tell you which updates are missing on which systems. For example, if something is missing on this one, it will say this machine are missing with these many classification of packages, and it will give you the information link to go and patch it. So there is a scheduled frequency on how this assessment happens. Linux happens very frequently. Okay, every 1 hour there will be a scan, but for Windows it takes up to sometimes up to 15 hours. So that's something you need to be very careful about. So the scanning, auto scan, happens for Windows up to, it might take up to 15 hours. See, that's the problem. After you add the first workload, it will take more time to scan and provide the compliance. But for Windows, 2 or 3 hours maximum. Okay, it will give you the scan details, the assessment information. Since it is Saturday, if something is getting delayed, we can also see it tomorrow Sunday, because we have one more day we can manage. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully it should come up in the next 30 minutes completely. The assessment, the patching, all those things should complete. So let's see. So now you can see that one of them went away, right? The 1131 is completed. We can go and check the schedule here. So the 1131 is completed already. Okay, these are the one in the pipeline. You can go and check what happened on the deployment schedule. Okay, as of now, it is showing only the ones which are pending, right? History, you can go and check the history here. You can see that the patching is going on. Okay, at 11:31, it started and it is in progress. Okay, you can see that it is currently getting patched. So this can take up to 120 minutes to complete the patching, but it has already succeeded. Okay, this is just patching only one machine. Okay, let's see. So these ones should automatically start now. Okay, that 11:35, 11:37, and so on. But this one we have not added any timing. So we just added it there. So if you want to do it now, you can also do it. See, I can just go and patch the specific machine like WinVM01, right? I can just go to WinVM01 and I can also check and get it, get if there is any missing patches. Okay, I can just go and run it and see if there is any missing patches here. Okay, let me go. Okay, I'll tell you guys. So if you go and expand this update management, you can check whether the update was completed, or you can go and check, generate a lot of things. So there are very useful queries that you can do. See, if you go to the right side here, if you click on queries, you can go and check all the different details. If you want to go and verify whether your Azure machines are having all the necessary patches or all those things, you can go and search for that. You can check for the patch and you can see what are the different patch installation failures that has happened for your machine, and for your Windows or for your Linux, you have different group, and you can see what changes occurred last month for your different machines in terms of fetching. So if you want to do some problem management, or if you want to do some root cause analysis, these things will help you fix the issue quickly. So if you want to check some machine, whether there was some changes, or whether there was some package installation or patch installation failure, all those things will be available. If I want to check the update specifically, I can also go and check what are the missing updates on that particular system. You can go and check which are the machines pending for reboot, which are the missing updates on each of the machine. So you don't have to write any specific query these days. Okay, everything is already pre-written. Your job is to go and select and check it. So if you want to find out what are the missing security and critical update, you can just go and run that, so that automatically it will go and run it and find out which machines has got which security and what do you call critical patches missing. It will take some time, because like just now we added it. It will go and check the last 24 hours and come back with the result. So what I'm trying to convey here is, if you want to try out, if you want to get something, click on this query. Everything is already pre-written, okay, for your virtual machines or any different services. If you go and type patching, if you go and type update, there are hundreds and hundreds of queries that are there. You don't have to go and reinvent anything. Okay, so I'll come to that part again. Maybe since we are just waiting for things to set right, I'll show you how the patch status and all those things. But any questions? I mean, I'm good to take questions anyways. So history.
Stan, Nandu here, Stan. So in this log analytics, it is fetching the details from the operating system, right? So whereas if we are going for a hard patching, it will be written, the patching information will be written in the virtual memory. So in that case, that will the information from the virtual memory, it will be written in the log analytics.
Yes, Nanda, it will be there. Even I mean, that's what the trick is, right? The machine will be reported as having the patches. Either you are doing a vulnerability scan or Azure update management scan, it will report as having it. So it's a way of goofing, or it's like a way of making the system believe that it has got the necessary patches and stuff. But even it will avoid any ransomware or stuff to go and attack the application. It definitely helps. Okay, so for your question, yes, answer is yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Even the hot patches, but again, it's only available for the newer version of OSs, right? So if you are going to a lot of environment, they are still using 2012 and very old operating system, which does not support that hot patching, right? So it's a emerging technology, and over the period, Microsoft will come with 2022 R2, and they will fix a lot of. I mean, they will come up with a lot of new things in the meanwhile. So when you are going to deploy a lot of 2022, already there will be a lot of changes, is what I'm trying to convey. There will be a lot of enhancements. Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
so
thank
here,
you.
no problem. Yeah. So this is currently running. Okay. Why there is no next runtime? Let me refresh. They have not given any refresh option. That is pathetic. Yeah. Update classification shown and reported for Linux. We have done may be incorrect. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. We thought this will start now, but it says next runtime is none. What happened? Did that already try running? Maintenance window, schedule one time. Oh, validation. Okay, it did not allow for immediate running. But okay, let's try 10:45. Will it allow 6 minutes? Okay, it is allowing 6 minutes. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to run it again, because it doesn't show me any time. Just for verification, I'm just trying to add it. But did that complete last time? I don't see anything. So I'll see. Status failed. Nothing has failed. Is there something in progress? Nothing is in progress. Did something did not start? Nothing did not fail to start, succeeded. Okay, it has completed. Yeah, right. I did not select the right filter. Okay, so one was completed at 11:31, 11:35, 11:37. So the schedule is properly working. So that's the reason it did. This one's changed as no deployment schedule. That's the reason. Once after it is complete, it is showing as none. Okay, but I have again triggered it at 11:45. That is my mistake. Okay, I have to go and select the right filter here. Okay, so far any questions from anyone other than what Nanda asked? Okay, interesting. Just give me a second. So let's talk about the data collection frequency. Okay, so in general, the update management, once after the first time, it will automatically scan twice per day. For Windows, like we know, right, it's not going to have, it can do scan will happen. The first time it will take up to 15 hours, but after that it will scan every, twice in a day, every 12 hours. And the routine scan here will happen every hour for Linux systems in from the update management. It will go and check whether something is there. So some people will have an interesting question on the costing aspect. I told patch management is free, but then I started telling that log analytics workspace is chargeable, right? So on an average, one machine or one each machine will accumulate around 25 MB per month. So you can just multiply by the number of machines you have, so that you can understand how much storage accumulation it is going to take for the patching activity or for the log accumulation activity, so that you can forecast how much charges you are going to get based on the number of machines. So number of machines multiplied by 25 MB will give you the size of the data, and you can go and check how much log analytics workspace costs for that much amount of capacity, so that you can also include that in your design or include in your costing plan. Okay, so okay, I'm getting exhausted because of power issue. Okay, now coming back to the console, let's see if there are any other good option. See, if I want to manage patching for one or two system, I need not go and do the update management, all those things. Instead, I can just come to virtual machine, come and select these multiple machine. If you want to select multiple machine, I can select multiple machine, go to services, and I can select update management. It will automatically take me to enabling update management, and I can enable it. So you can do for multiple machine, or you can also select individual machines, and you can go to an option called update management and play around with the updates. Okay, you can also manually go and trigger it from this console. You can just go to update management. So hard patches will be available only for 2022 operating system, but here I can just go and go to patch update management and try to handle it. So there are more than one option. Okay, you can just go to the services here and select multiple machine and go to update management, or else get inside the operating system, sorry, get inside the machine and go to updates and deal with that. Okay, or else you can directly go to automation account and select the update management. There is more than one way to reach the update management, is what I am saying. So now you can see that at least there are 6 machines that are reported, which is good, and you can see that it has completed 6 machines. So good, actually, like there are some data coming up, popping up. So let's give it a minute, but still the compliance, it takes some time. Okay, don't rush. Since we are in class, we are trying to see output immediately, but in real time also it will take a lot of time. Sometimes Windows will show only after 15 hours or more than that. But now at least we are able to schedule it. We are able to see the deployment schedule. We are able to see the successful completion. So we are seeing the full flow now. Okay, we are able to understand how all these things work together. Okay, let me check at least now this particular script is listing down, not yet. Huh? Let's go and fix that. So let's go to runbook. Let's go here. Let's go and check whether it is already started. Okay, let me try to start this. Okay, it is starting. It is able to start it, but why I'm not able to add it? Let's see. Let's go to properties. Yeah, question? Any question?
No, this won't work for non-Azure VM, right? The stop or start VM.
Yeah, because but MMA agent should work will assist work on that. But yeah, we can just check that. Ideally, MMA agent is needed for both allowing the script as well as for the agents to manage the scheduled patching, all those things. Ideally, it should. Okay, but I can double check on that. Okay, let's see the job. It doesn't take this much time. Authoring. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's give it some time. I'll check when. Uh, let's see. Let's try it a little later. But how about the patching? Okay, one job is running because 11:45 already, right? So there is a job that is currently running. Very good. So that's what I saw in the overall screen. There is one job that is running. It did completed again. It's running. Okay, one job is running. 8 is completed. Okay. Anything else from anyone? Any specific questions? Okay, I'll take that as no.
This time, selecting the patches, specific patches. So you'll show that.
Yeah. So that's what, right? See, here under the update management, if I want to selectively install only one patch, I can include that KB article alone. That's what I told you, right? Here, it will create
But
a group.
will not
Yeah.
have options to list down the patches and select. So
You
will
mean to say how you are seeing it in the update
third
catalog
party?
console?
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
now that that way I don't think so. See, you can only add the KB articles to just create a group only to apply this particular package. At the end, it is the same, right? So you
Yeah.
have to go and
Okay,
that
there
is
will not
this is
be
the
any
only way.
import options.
You are thinking that you will go and select patch for Microsoft Office. Oh, that way. Okay, that way it's not available.
Yeah.
It's you have to go and
Okay.
include the specific KB article, and if you don't want to install specific one, you can exclude it from that particular monthly group.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It should report if there is a refresh option. At least I can select that refresh, but here it's not at all giving that refresh. But I mean, even in the past, even in the previous classes, it will take time to check and show us the status of the assessment. So at the end here, if you go and click the manage machine, so if you select enable all available and future machine, automatically it will add when there is a new agent that is getting deployed. That's the good thing with Azure. So now compliance, you can see if there is any non-compliant machine. You can also filter down. There is nothing which is non-compliant. Nothing. Almost all of them are not assessed. Even there is nothing reported as compliant. Maybe we can check that later. If in case it comes up in next 5-10 minutes, we can see it, or else I'll leave this environment to run as is until tomorrow, and we'll look at the output. Also, we'll see some specific queries once this is complete. We'll get to understand it better. So that actually summarizes some of these, and make sure, okay, for the update management, patching, backup, all these things, the time zone plays a very important role. Okay, so some people they miss that time zone factor when they are dealing with patching and other things. In the daylight savings changes, you have to make sure that the daylight savings are getting automatically updated as the machine even on the console you have to go and verify whether the task scheduler is pushing the patches at the right time. Okay, that is something you need to be very watchful. And if there is an announcement that comes like there is a day change in daylight savings, your machine can be set to update based on the time zone or based on the daylight saving. That is possible. But in your console, in the schedule management, if you have scheduled it for some 11 a.m. and the daylight savings have changed by 1 hour or 2 hours, you have to go and make sure that the scheduled patching activity is also getting changed based on that. Otherwise, you might go and reboot the system during the production window, outside of the outside of the maintenance window. You have to be keeping that in mind and act accordingly. Yeah. So one last check. Okay, still it's not coming. Okay, but I think I can take up some questions now. Okay, and if there are not many questions, maybe we can check on this when we return back tomorrow. For the first 15-20 minutes, we'll see what is the overall status. We can go and check some logs after this is complete, and we can conclude the what you call the patching one. Okay, so at the end, this is a regular routine task for a cloud operations team. You need to deal with this update management tool every month. So practice it. There is no alternate for practice. You have to create some groups. You need to create some machines. You need to try and schedule it, see the output, go and check the machine, whether the patches were installed. We saw some machine, right? So here, if you look at this one, this installed the patches on one of the machine, we can go and check whether that machine has got this one. So this is the update that it has got successfully downloaded, and oh, it says installation failed for this machine. Okay, it did not attempt actually. Okay, 0 of 1 failed, 0 of, okay, so let's see. So this is not the specific package which is needed, because I don't have Microsoft Defender antivirus. You can also go and check the complete details. What kind of patches was installed. You can also go and check the logs also here. Okay, you can check what is the configuration that ran, what kind of update it checked, what kind of update it installed, what it skipped. All those detailed information will be available. You can go and check the output also. It will show you what happened when the command ran or when the schedule ran, whether there was any reboot. There is no reboot. Okay, so you can check all those things. You have a very good detailed analysis information. I can also go and check the other one. You can check what happened here. You can go and check the all logs. You can check what are the different packages that got installed on your Linux operating system. Okay, whether it installed some specific packages or what happened during the patching activity. You can also go and check the output, whether the machine got rebooted or what job ran, all those things. Okay, so it gives you a lot of interesting things. It shows you what are the different updates that were tried, that was failed. So ideally, you have to go and check the failures here. If there is no failures, then we should be good. Okay, so if something is attempted and failed, that is where you need to be careful about. Okay, you have to check the error. Okay, so it gives you very detailed information. Okay, you can also check whether there was any pre-script, post-script, whether that pre-script ran successfully. All these informations are available.
Is there patch specific reports can be available here?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that is
any
something it
user
will be
report?
available in log analytics. I'll show you that. Yeah, that's the thing I want to show you. But here the assessment is not fully completed, right? Yeah, it will be available under the log analytics workspace, not under the same console. If you want to have a consolidated report or output, then you have to always come to the log analytics workspace. That is where you get all the specific details. If you want to specifically check something related to your patches. Let's see which are the machines connected. Okay, two Windows servers are connected. There is no Linux connected. So which machine, which log space we are using? I think we are using this one. So you can see how many machines are connecting here. Okay, 3 machines are connected. 1 machine is connected. See, I can just go to this log. This log will give you a little more detail. Okay, I can just go and check which are those 3 machines. Run it. See, these are the 3 machine: Windows, WAC, and the Amazon Linux one. And I can just go and click on the queries. And if you want to check some specific things, go to update, and you can go and check the missing updates summary. But as of now, it will not show a lot of things. Okay, missing update specific product, you can go and run. If you click on this thing, you can go and modify the queries slightly based on your requirement. Okay, so maybe if you want to check some specific KB or specific things, you can go and fine tune it. Okay, you have a lot of pre written queries, patch installation failure, and you can also check what changes occurred last 1 month. So these things will be very effective when you check it after 1 or 2 days, because we just ran it and we cannot get a lot of good report here. Okay, and for your question, yeah, you have a lot of way to play around with the log analytics workspace. You cannot check many things in the same console, but here you can check a specific KB, whether it is installed on all the machines and so on, can be checked. Let's say, let's at least run one successful thing. Update, provision actions, missing update summary. Okay, let's go and check the machines with Azure Update Management deployed. Okay, you can see these machines has been deployed, and you can see that the name of the machines, and you can see that what are the number of critical updates that are missing and security updates that are missing here. So as of now, the log analytics workspace have started providing you, and also you can see how many different systems you can expand it. For example, if I want to check the Windows VM1, I can expand it here. It will give you much more details. It will give you like what are the missing updates, what is the compliance level, OS type, and a lot of additional details. You can add additional information also. See, if I go to the columns, I can add additional data. For example, if I want to include some more things, I can also include. There are many changes that you can make. Okay, I can also look this into a graph chart, so that if I want to add it to some governance report, it can also give me in a chart method. Okay, it will take 1 or 2 minutes. It is formatting the chart here. Okay, let's give it a minute. So yeah, a lot of things are there. Okay, you can go and check only the missing critical updates or missing security updates. You can check it by specific KB, specific things. All these things are already pre-written. Only you need to understand that and slightly modify 1 or 2 words and run it. Okay, that's the thing. And if it is showing here, ideally we should start seeing it. Let me refresh. Ideally, we should see the compliance level. See, if we are able to see it, I can power off the VM, right? Yeah, because okay, not assist. That's not good. I have to run it until tomorrow. Let's wait. But yeah, so here it is formatting the chart, and a lot of interesting things are there. See, the results can be taken to any other tool. I can just search all, and here I can go to the chart. It will take some time. Okay, first time always this tool will take 5-10 minutes, and the subsequent checks will be much faster. So it says chart is formatting. This is all good. You can also try different way. Okay, maybe 100% stacked. What else? You can also look into the bar model based on your thing. You can try it. Some chart will not work out for certain things. Maybe like let's see. Say it supports only for the patching. It supports only stacked column. It looks like. 1 second. Stacked, unstacked. It takes some time. Okay, let's see this later. Okay, for now, yeah, for your question, you have to come here to the log analytics workspace for creating a new rule, or if you want to run by selecting the saved query, you can do that, or else you can also go and change whatever you want. Okay, you can write your own query. Okay, so you can write your own alert if there is something seen as a problematic thing. You can also create an alert rule based on that. Okay, but for now, like, let's not get too much carried away with that. Any questions so far for what we have covered?
Uh, Stan, for the patch, it will get downloaded to the local machine, right? So that will clean up after the patch get installed, or it will accumulate every patch.
Yeah,
So
so
that
the
will
temp
upgrade.
files will get cleaned up, but yeah, you can also clean up in a regular basis. But yeah, mostly it should the temp files which gets created, it should get cleaned up automatically based on the Microsoft operating system rule. Yeah, but we can also try to create some scripts. In some organization, I have seen like it will add up more capacity, and we need to write manual scripts to find out and clean it up. But yeah, so most of the latest operating system, we are not seeing that problem. We are seeing that in systems in Windows 2012 and prior to that. But with the latest operating systems, we are not seeing such major challenges in 2016, 2019 and all. We are not having such issues related to log files or temp files or the exe getting accumulated into C drive and getting a lot of space. Yeah, that is not seen in the latest OS, but for the previous OS, even we have created a lot of script to go and clean it up manually as a pre-script and post-script.
Stan, on the log monitoring, that means
Yeah,
the log mechanism. Is there any way an alerting kind of mechanism is available? Because every time
yeah,
we
yeah.
will not be able to
So
see
here
it.
it
Is
Here
there
it
right?
is.
Okay.
New alert rule is there. Once the query is run periodically, you can set a condition. You can say like send a alert to a particular person, or you want to send it. You want to restart the machine or start the machine or whatever, right? If you want to even patch the machine, also you can do it. So there is an alert rule which can go and trigger the action. You can write a condition, you can run a particular query, and based on that query, if the output says like the machine is missing some critical patches, you can also automatically install it on a particular non-business hours or period. You can do it. Yeah, the alert rule can be very much integrated to the log query. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In our current organization and all, it's already been integrated with the service now. That's a third-party application, right? Stan? Even
Right,
that is
right.
also possible.
Yeah,
So it will
ITSM
automatically
integrated
create a
is,
ticket.
yeah, very much, very much. So here under the actions, if I go and create an action group, you will see a ITSM connector available under the notification. If I go here, you will see email, SMS here, right? So here you can also go and connect it to ITSM tool, like which is your ServiceNow or
Oh,
Remedy or whatever.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay, Stan. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So I think I'm kind of having power issues, and I do have some battery here, but I'm not able to sit. Climatic condition is not good here in Chennai. Okay, so heat is increasing day by day. So hope you guys have some good dinner or a good lunch and take some rest. Okay, I'll stop the recording. I'll be here for a couple of more